All right. Welcome to Howie Mandel Does Stuff. We didn't start yet. This is kind of a cold opening. We don't do it. It's an apology. And it's an apology to Ethan Klein and the H3 podcast. I'm a fan. Ethan, you know I love you and I love everybody there. I saw this clip.
Dude, listen to this shit. Jimmy hits me up and says, do you want Carrot Top on your show? And he sends me a picture of him with Carrot Top. And I'm thinking, there's no damn way he can get me Carrot Top. Not that I think that Carrot Top is like a super hard get. I mean, peace and love. I like Carrot Top. I like him. Mm-hmm. I always laugh when I see his bits, man. But I'm like, Jimmy he can't get me anybody.
Right.
So I said, yes, Jimmy, I want Carrot Top just to see if he could do it. He sent us a number. So
you should know that I have a history with Carrot Top. I actually called him. He's on this episode. I did not take the idea from you, number one. And number two, I apologize for not going through Jimmy. We just got him ourselves.
I'm actually surprised you didn't go through Jimmy. But next time, for our next guest.
So we apologize to Jimmy Lee, the Jersey Outlaw, and mostly to Ethan. I'm sorry. Subscribe, like. Here's the podcast. There we go.
There we go. Now it's official.
It is. This is Howie Mandel Does Stuff. I'm Howie Mandel.
I'm Jacqueline Schultz, his daughter.
And Carrot Top is here.
Oh, my God. I can't believe this. I feel like I'm in timeout over here in the corner.
Do you really?
Yeah, I'm in the corner by myself. It's okay. How are you? Good to see you.
No, we're here
We
in the
look
room.
better from a distance, I think, you and I. Yeah, both of us.
This is not a distance. This is all. We're all here. I can't thank you enough for being here. You know, you and I have been friends for how long?
Oh my God! I was telling my guy on the way here, like for so many years. In fact, one of the, if you might not remember this, but you've always been sweet and always nice to me. And
I don't remember being sweet.
No, but everyone, when
sweet.
everyone would crap on me, you know, being Carrot Top, and you were the first. This is not a joke. I had done Howard Stern, and I don't know how we had each other's numbers. I don't know, but I got a call and it said unknown, which is usually you have a cell phone.
I'm unknown.
If you get it, well, everyone, it seems like when there's celebrity, it comes up unknown. So you go, oh, it's got to be it's going to be Gene Simmons or Howie or somebody, you know, famous. So I went, oh, I'm not going to pick it up. And I said, well, it's got to be someone it's someone great. And which is funny because you're very known, not unknown. So I said hello, and you said, dude, great job on Howie on Howard. And I was like, oh, how nice. And you said, no, like, dude, you killed it. It was just unreal. And I never, ever have forgotten that because it was just the coolest thing that you called me to give me a nice little, you know, what a great job I had done, which I did because I was terrified.
Why?
To do Howard Stern. Well, because when you're Carrot Top, you're terrified to do anything. They, you know, you come in just ready to get beaten up, and they have you in this little teeny room, and they talk about you for a good while they make you wait, you know, and you're just sitting there, and Robin and all of them are talking, and he's like, yeah, Carrot Top, you know, what's his deal? You know, he's kind of a strange guy, and and he's kind of weird looking, and I'm sitting out there and I said, okay, bring him in. And I walk in, and the first thing they say was, oh my God, you're a normal guy. And Howard's like, and Robin's like, you're very handsome, actually. And you know, everyone's just like, you know, give me so much praise. Oh, you have muscles, you're in good shape, you look great, you don't have weird eyebrows. I'm like, who said I have weird eyebrows? So the first thing he said was, you're into bukkake. And I don't know what that is. And everyone's laughing. So I said, of course I'm into bukkake. So everyone laughs.
I'm sitting here with my daughter. You want to explain to her?
I don't really want to explain it. I don't even want to explain it to you if you don't know what it is. But anyway, what it is, it's horrible. So I get done with the show and everything was great. And then you call me and then you said to me, were you being funny? You didn't know what that was? And I said, I still don't know. And you told me, and I said, oh my God, I just told America what I was into, but I didn't say where I was in the spectrum of, you know, where you are in that. There's a lot of different things that go.
But just so before we move on, explain to my daughter what it is.
I was actually looking it up.
Oh, you're looking it up.
No, I think you got to hear it from Scott. You have to hear it.
That's what Young.
Here, put Mom on the phone too. And
Okay. Can Mom explain? Can we see if Mom can explain it
we'll
first?
see if her mom knows
Yeah,
what it
that's
is.
great.
I think we got to stick with bukkake. This should be not only entertaining but informational. And Scott, you've got this. I relate to you very much in our world of comedy because I was also in the beginning of my career for about 30 years.
Nice. In the beginning of my career, about 30 years.
For the first 30 years of my career, and just because
Mom? No, she hung up.
She hung up.
She probably knows. Didn't know. Maybe in Bukkake.
What is bukkake?
It's a form of some really horrible thing where there's people. It could not about what gender. It could be male. It could be female. And one is tied down and can't move. And there's people around them that do something horrible to them.
What do they do?
You know what I'm talking about. There's carrot juice everywhere.
Okay.
So I said yeah. But I didn't say what.
Is that what you call your jizz?
Yeah.
Is that your term?
My jizz, yeah, carrot
juice.
Carrot juice.
It's carrot juice time.
Carrot juice. It's good for
so
your eyes.
somebody's having sex with you, they just say, "I'm juicing."
I'm juicing.
I'm juicing. Okay. So
I didn't say where I was in the. I wasn't the one tied down. I might have been the part of throwing the carrot juice. So anyway, it was just kind of an awkward moment. After it was all said and done, I just told America that I was into bukkake. So, yeah, that might ticket sales went up.
But here's the thing. I think that you are absolutely brilliant, and I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. I also think that you're one of the most successful comedians of our generation, and I'll tell you why. I'm gonna qualify this because people always. I started out doing a lot of props.
Yes, you did.
And even more silliness than you do. And I got beat up, as much as our community, and I talk about the community being the comics, we can be supportive, but we're also very mean to each other. And I was never respected because I was silly and not a monologist, and I've talked about this for many times. I was always the 10th on the top 10 list on David Letterman, and on David Letterman, who I love and adore, and thought it was my my favorite show. And the joke would be, and then we're going to make him sit through a Howie Mandel show, and
yep, that's been there thousands of times.
And I just think that what you do, if you really think about it, you have created comedy, which takes as much writing as somebody who does, political monologue. But not only that, you've also at the same time needed to create and engineer and build a prop that kind of accentuates whatever the humor is. You've always been in the moment, but more importantly, I don't know somebody that has been able to create business. You have your own room in Las Vegas for 18. Is it 18?
Well, it's the Terry Fader room, but it's my room. Yeah. No, it's never been called the Carrot Top room, but there is a room that I've 18 years. Yeah.
So for 18 years, you have been a Las Vegas headliner, and you remember you went even on your
You did.
yeah.
I remember you being there
at your bachelorette party, right? It was like you were there with all your friends.
I went on my bachelorette party. I also went for my birthday. I've been to your show like 3 times.
Yeah. Everybody that I send, everybody that goes to see Carrot Top live, they come back more surprised, more delighted. It is, whether you're young, whether you're old, it is always funny, always great. And you have been a mainstay in Vegas this long. Whereas, a lot of comics who consider themselves like very good, they have had, and I'm not saying they're not good, but they've had little rides where they've been able to sell tickets, and then that fades away, and they don't have a job anymore, and they're trying to get airtime. They put things up online, and they don't get the counts that should be. You have been a consistent force in live entertainment for well over 25 years. And that is an amazing feat, and that is not an accident. That has to be deserved. If you weren't putting those asses in those seats, and they weren't coming back like my daughter 2 or 3 times, you would not be a success. You are a success, and that comes with a lot of hard work, genius, and the ability to write, produce, and create consistently and keeping up with the time. So
thank you very much, and I appreciate all that. And it is interesting because going back to like we just talked about being, you have this unbelievable stuff in here. There's the front row of the Tonight Show. Now, this brings me all the way back to when Jim McCauley ran the Tonight Show and Johnny Carson. I think he maybe had 2 months left on his thing. Jim McCauley maybe come down to the Improv, and I did a set, and it was
so Jim McCauley is the guy that booked the Tonight Show,
booked the comics on the Tonight Show.
And years ago, being on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson was a game changer. Oh no, and that was the pinnacle. That's what everybody looked for.
Absolutely, you did that. You were done, and you were confirmed with even not just yourself, but in the comedy world, you could walk in the came from. I said, oh my God, he was on the Tonight Show.
Well, even with everybody, I always talk about like in the street when people didn't know you and they go, "What do you do?" And you go, "I'm a comedian." They go, "Have you ever been on Johnny?"
Yeah, right.
You could have been on every other show.
Right,
That
sure.
meant that was the litmus test.
That was.
So Johnny had 2 months left in his tenure.
Yes, and Jim McCauley was a big fan of mine. I mean, he loved me. So he said, "Scotty, I want you to come down and do a set." So I did a set. And all I remember was I did so well, and I remember dragging my stupid trunk down that little hallway, and Bud's yelling at me, "Move your shit!" And I said, "I'm trying to." And then he came over, Jim McCauley, and said, "That was maybe the funniest set I've ever seen, ever." And I said, "So can I do the show?" And he said, "I was going to be honest with you, and I love you more than you know, but you will never be on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson." And I said, "Well, then why did I do this set?" He said, "I just wanted to see you. I wanted to see you sweat, and I wanted to see the show." I swear. And I said, "Well, why won't I be on the Tonight Show?" He said, "Because it's nothing personal. However, it's completely all personal because he doesn't like variety, and he doesn't like props. He doesn't like magic. He doesn't like anything." And I remember saying, literally to his face, I said, "But the Tonight Show is all fucking variety. Everything from the throwing the hatchets to the Karnak, everything that he ever did on that show was variety. It was everything with the music and the thing. Ed was variety."
Right.
And he said, "Yeah, I know. I'm just letting you know." And I said, "Well, that sucks." And then I think it was maybe 2 weeks into Jay's where he took over, and I was on. And so those were still there. So I did perform in front of those chairs, but it was of course it was Jay. But Jay was like, "Ah, yeah." But I remember doing that, and it was still that it was so surreal because you're standing on that gold star,
Right,
where Johnny stood, and those chairs, that blue thing. And you're kind of like, this is unreal. You're still kind of validated because you're still doing the Tonight Show,
and
it's
were.
got NBC, and you still had Fred DeCordova over there,
right,
in the booth. That's sleeping.
It
during
still
my,
meant something.
It's on Fred.
Jim McCauley said the exact same thing to me. Not only,
but you ended up being on there.
the reason, how I got on? I got on because I did a set in front of Joan Rivers.
Okay.
Joan Rivers, remember when she was guest hosting?
Absolutely.
She would come and work out her set at the Comedy Store. She saw me there and she said, "Have you ever been on the Tonight Show?" I did it with her. Johnny from home saw me and asked me to come back the next week. Jim McCauley would never take the leap that if he loved it, the fact that he loved it, the fact that he wanted to do it, even with 2 weeks, I kind of begrudge him what he did to you.
Because it was a little weird because I thought I was going to be the last, I'm like, oh, I got this. And it was a great set. It was like a perfect TV set. It was great. It's all clever. It's all topical things. And he's even said it couldn't be more topical, couldn't be more perfect, but you're not going to be on it.
But then you were going to go on, maybe I'm wrong, but you were going to do Jay. And Jay, the Tonight Show still had the patina right when Jay took over of being a big thing and taking you to the next level.
Sure.
Didn't you get bumped the first time? Was that the Mark Summers?
No, that was just recently. I just posted that. No, that was with Burt Reynolds. How great is that? No, I wasn't bumped the first time. The first time I went on, it was great. And I don't know what time it was that I was bumped, but it was so brilliant. And the reason I posted it, because someone the other day said, "Oh, there's this great thing where Burt Reynolds has a pie fight with this Mark Summers guy." And I said, "I was on that show." And no, you weren't. I said, "No, I was, but I was bumped because of it. So you have to look at the credits and see the whole thing." And then someone out of the blue found the clip, and it was so funny because I'm backstage. You're just all no matter what. I'm always terrified for a TV show, just because it's the Tonight Show. You're always amped up as a comic. You just want to do well, and there's this they're having this argument, right? And Burt Reynolds is sitting there. And he's talking about in his segment, he's talking about he's on his third marriage or something, or fourth or fifth marriage,
Right.
And I was like, that's why I have a mustache. I'm not making. I love Burt Reynolds so much, so
That's why you have a mustache.
No, but it just felt good, didn't it? It seemed like it. Yeah, it seemed like it. Yeah, I know. When I was a kid, I used to draw one of them with a Sharpie because I thought I was the bandit, and so. I'm not kidding. I really thought my mom would say right now, "Oh, he thought he was Burt Reynolds." So I'm back there just freaking out like I'm with Burt. He's on the show with Burt Reynolds, and then this Mark Summers comes out, and during his segment he says,
Mark Summers is the guy from the Nickelodeon show.
Double Dare.
Double Dare, yeah.
So he turned. You sit on that show, it's kind of awkward anyhow. Which is that talk shows are kind of weird because the first guest you're talking with the host, and the second guest sometimes I was always aware of that because I don't know, just socially that I would always even if someone was there, I would talk to Jay like this. I wouldn't talk to Jay like that one back to fucking Burt Reynolds, right?
Right.
So first thing he did was he sat down and put his back to Burt Reynolds, and I'm thinking it was already awkward. And then he says something right off the bat like, "I'm still married, by the way, to the first wife." And Burt Reynolds is like, and everyone kind of does an awe, you know. And then he says a second rip on Burt Reynolds, and he has his Tonight Show cough, which is water, and he just throws it at him. I mean, completely
live.
covers him.
It's a classic moment.
It is a great, and I was backstage getting ready, like they're miking me, like, okay, don't say fuck, don't say fuck. I look over, and I'm like, what's going on? They're like, oh, I don't know. And so he throws his water, and then Mark Summers takes his water and throws it on Burt Reynolds. And I'm like, are you out of your mind? Like, a little respect. It's Burt Reynolds, for God's sakes, right? I don't care who it is. You don't throw your water on Burt Reynolds. So now Burt Reynolds is like, what the? So now they're at it. They come back.
Wait, didn't Burt Reynolds you said he threw his water first?
Oh, yeah.
But he,
yeah, but you don't throw it back at Burt Reynolds. You're like, you know what? Burt Reynolds threw water at me. It's almost like a blessing. Like, he just, hey.
It's not like baptism.
You know,
I think Mark did a good thing.
I think he did. We're friends. I know Mark, and he think he did a good thing. But then it caused me this whole. So then, you know, Tracy Fist, everybody's back there's like, just stay. Don't move. We don't know what's going to happen. So they all came back and they said, we're going to make pies, and they're going to make a pie fest fight to make it good, because you know it was really ugly.
It was uncomfortable.
It was really uncomfortable. So now we're going to make it fun. So they're going to bring out pies, and they do the 1, 2, 3, and Bert went on 1 instead of 3, and just smack. They both got in this almost a fist fight. And then they came on and they said, yeah, can you do this tomorrow? And I said, I guess. So then Jay comes on, yeah. Carrot Top will be, but he'll be here tomorrow. And the whole crowd's like, boo. Like, it was,
but you want to know something? I got bumped from shows too. That was actually a better thing, because I felt on national TV, my name was mentioned on 2 nights.
Absolutely.
Nobody would have talked.
And I would, how do you follow that too? I mean, you know, literally, you come out and you say, hey, the Lovebirds over here. But yeah, it was probably better that I got bumped. The crowd was in a shock and dismay, for sure.
You know what I found with being, I moved away from props just because I'm not as good as you at it. And sometimes when you have a prop, did you ever find like on TV that it was hard? Like, it's one thing to say something and then, and this happens to me a lot, and then there's crickets, and then there's nothing, so then you could say something else. But when you're holding something, or you're wearing a helmet, or you've set this whole thing up, and that doesn't work, you're left with a... Yeah,
no, it's horrible, and it has happened, yes, my entire career. And one was on The Tonight Show. I had a purse that shot tampons. Now, the joke was to shoot a purse for women that shoots tampons across the... So if her friend, I need to... And it was dumb. The whole show's dumb.
Funny.
But it was great built. It was a great prop. It built, and you hit a purse, and you hit a butt, and it'd go boom, and this tampon would fly out and hit so her friend could have one if they go to the bar. So anyway, the last joke is the closing bit, and I said, and it was a killing. I said, this is great. I said, I got time for one more, Jay, and he said, one more. So I said, yeah, one more. I can't have. So I got my thing. I said, it's a purse for women that shoots tampons. Nothing. Didn't shoot.
Oh, it didn't shoot?
No. So I'm like, see, normally, and they're like, we'll be right back with it. And I'm like, no, it normally shoots. So at least Jay was nice if we came back from the commercial break. I'm sitting with him with the person. I said, can I try it? And then the crowd laughs. I said, we got it. But it was a horrible moment. Your last closing.
But you build all
bit.
This stuff, right?
Yeah, most of it. NASA builds some of it. I have people. Yeah.
But you're making a joke. But wasn't your father a NASA engineer?
He was. My dad. But that's why, in a sense, that statement was true. My dad did build me some things, and he did work at NASA. So a lot of the stuff was built from NASA. Yeah, I had a helmet that had these little NASCARs that go around it. So if you can't go to a NASCAR race, you wear this home so you feel like you're at the race. It was stupid, but my dad's like, oh, I can make that.
Really?
So he made a lot of props.
So did people ever walk into his office at NASA?
Nice.
This is
and
not.
There building.
He's got Hot Wheels and a little track. What planet is this for?
Yeah, is this for the shuttle? What is it for the Skylab? What is this? Yeah.
Did he work on the shuttle?
Yeah, he worked on Skylab and Apollo and all that. Yeah, he was.
Wow.
My dad was very cool. He built. We trained them to drive on the moon, the lunar module.
He trained them to do that?
It was a simulator, so he would train them to the astronauts to ride on the moon, which apparently they didn't. But my dad would beat somebody up right now if they said they didn't go to the moon. But the thing that I thought was most cool was when they piggybacked the shuttle on top of the 747 and had to.
I went out on the roof to watch that come in here to California.
So here's the cool thing as far as engineering and logistics and all that go is not only did they have to figure out a way to get the shuttle and the weight and the whole thing of the idea of putting it on top of another airplane.
Right.
They've never done that, right? So these engineers sat in a room like, what do we got to do? We got to figure out a way to get it to land. So someone said, well, how about we have to get it up in the air? And someone said, how about we just put it on the back of a 747 and release it off the 747, and then we can know if it lands or not. And I'm like, That's cool shit to me, right? So you're like, I'm trying to build a walker with a dildo on it with duct tape, and that's hard enough. But this, to have a room full of engineers go, well, first of all, how do we get the weight? And then how do you get the clamps? They built these clamps. My dad used to come home and say, I'm working on this clamp idea to hold the shuttle.
To see your dad working at the dining room table and you working at the same dining room table with the dildo and the clamps, sounds like the same kind of thing.
How they did that, it's unreal, because not only did you get it to stay on there, but when they released it, that had to not crash into the other. Like, how do they know how that worked? They released.
You couldn't release a tampon from
a
briefcase.
Yeah. And then it landed, and of course they all had a big party and got drunk and said we did it. But I remember my dad, he was so stressed out about that when he came home. He said, I can't believe that it was a success, and we did it. We got it to go off and land successfully. Yeah, it was cool.
A kid from Florida watching. I remember growing up, the space program was always. I'm Canadian.
Yeah,
the space program was huge, and everybody who worked on it, including the astronauts, but all the people behind the scenes and at ground control and all the engineers. I mean, that's heroic.
It's cool. It's cool. I didn't think it was cool when I was a kid.
Really?
I didn't want to go to a launch. I wanted to watch the Brady Bunch or Partridge Family or something. And so my dad's like, "You're going to a launch, and on top of the VAB. I don't want to go to this crap."
Really?
Didn't other kids say how cool it was? Like, to say that your dad works.
Well, maybe looking back on it, maybe. But I didn't think it wasn't cool. I just didn't get it. I was like, okay, he works at NASA. I didn't understand really until when I met the astronauts, and that was kind of a rock star moment. We went to see John Young and Bob Crippen, the first two guys that went up in the shuttle. And my dad says, we're going to go meet the astronauts. They're going to take the shuttle up. So I was like, wow, okay. It was like meeting, Prince, and it was like, wow, I get to meet, these are real celebrities. And it was funny because we get there, and there's like this big field, where the VAB and all that stuff is.
Where the what?
Where the vehicle assembly building, where they build the shuttle and all this stuff stores in. So this big building and all of NASA, but there's where the launch pad, there's like just grass field, and they have these tents for hot dogs and food and beer and Coke. So my dad says, what do you want? I said, I don't know, I have a hot dog and a Coke. And my dad looks at the line for the hot dog and Coke line was like 50 people deep. And the line for the beer was like one person. So my dad says, you're gonna have a beer. And
How old were you?
I was like 13. And I remember saying, okay. And so I'm just like, okay. So he said, don't tell your mother. At first he looked at me, he said, how is it? I said, I don't like it. And well, don't tell your mother. And I don't remember if I had 1, 2 sips, but I remember it was like 3 rockets going off. It was just like, I was so plastered, I didn't even know. And I came home, my mom was like, how was the launch? I'm like, I was so drunk, I don't even know. So yeah.
Did he want you to go into?
Oh yeah, there's a whole bit in my show where you're gonna work at NASA like me. I'm like, Dad, it's me, because my brother went to the Air Force Academy and was an F-16 fighter jet pilot. Literally.
Your brother?
Yeah, and so I do a whole thing in the show with slides where I say my dad worked at NASA and built rockets, and my brother went to the Air Force Academy, and then there's me, and it does this whole black sheep of the family song, and it's a picture of me in an AT&T commercial. I'm like this dorky, and I do a whole story about, so my whole adopted life. I really wanted to be a comedian. I tell the whole story about trying to get into comedy. But
the truth, without the comedy, was he proud of you? Did he get to see all your success?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But when I was,
is he alive? No?
He's not now.
Oh,
no.
I'm sorry. But he got to see you successful. I met your mom once.
My mom is still going too strong. She's great. She lives in Vegas.
I met her once.
You did meet my mom.
Yes, I did meet her. So she was incredibly proud.
Yes, my whole family is everyone's proud.
Great. We're in a commercial now for a new sponsor, but a sponsor that we know.
My favorite.
DoorDash. You use DoorDash every day.
I literally just used them yesterday because Abby, my daughter, wanted a sandwich and wanted an avocado, and we didn't have avocado.
Kenny, what is this? It's DoorDash. Open the door.
Oh,
open the door.
Because it's DoorDash?
Because it's DoorDash. That's why
He's so good at this, Kenny.
Right.
Anyways, we didn't have avocado for her sandwich. I realized we were out of a bunch of stuff, so I used DoorDash grocery and ordered a bunch of Kenny.
Open the door. Ordered
a bunch of stuff, and it was easy, and it came right away, is what I wanted to say.
But now it's not just meals, it's groceries, and that's what's amazing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I used yesterday.
Yeah, but I think that's great. I used to think it was just restaurant food, but it's great. And I don't like going shopping. I love somebody to go shopping for me. So if I can go to the Kenny, enough with the door. Enough. We get it. Open the door, Kenny. Open the door. Great.
And their customer service is right, too. They make it right. They make it nice. Like Dorinda would say, they make it nice.
And not only that, it's good for the economy because they can go to stores in your neighborhood and really support them. Yeah. Kenny, open the door. Kenny, open it. All right. So anyway, you can get whatever you want. This is so convenient. It's great service. And do you want to say something else?
No, just go order restaurants if you want, your groceries if you want. You can get everything now from DoorDash. So get 50% off your first DoorDash order, up to $20 value when you use code Howie at checkout. Limited time offers and terms apply. That's 50% off.
Open the door.
Up to $20, no minimum subtotal, and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code Howie. Don't forget.
And they also have, did you mention that they have 0 delivery charge where it's...
when you join their membership.
Yeah.
When you join their membership, then you
on
don't even pay
eligible
delivery.
orders with DoorDash memberships, right? It's got to be an eligible order. Yep. But anyway, one more time, how do you
Don't forget that's code Howie for 50% off your first order with DoorDash. Did they hear it?
Do it again with the door open.
Okay, that's code Howie, HOWIE, for 50% off your first order with DoorDash.
Kenny, go back to the podcast. So your brother was an F-16 pilot.
Yeah.
What's he doing now?
Flies for Southwest. Around.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
that's like you and I, we're on the Tonight Show now. Where do you work? I work at the CW. Ah, damn.
I hope Southwest is not a sponsor. So.
No, I mean, I'm
they were.
Yeah.
You're just saying.
I worked at
CW is great too.
I host the Tonight Show now.
No more selling shows to the CW now.
Yeah, no. I mean, I love the CW.
Yeah.
We all do.
And you have a sister too, right?
No sisters. Not that I know of.
Oh.
Well, behind me, there she is.
Was there 3 kids or 2 kids? Just the 2 boys?
Just the 2 boys, yeah.
Just the 2 boys. So, and so speaking of flying, I'm going to play a little tape. Tell me if this looks familiar. Let's play a little tape. Let's play a little tape.
Oh, God.
Does this ring a bell?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
that wasn't it.
I'm telling you, I'm getting the off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give 2 but I am telling you right now.
She almost lost her voice.
That motherfucker back there is not real.
Is she talking about you?
No. I was in first class.
Could you hear this happening?
I was sitting right there in the first seat in first class. Yeah.
Could you hear this?
But what's funny about it? Well, of course I could. What was funny is I'm right there. What's funny about it was when someone during the 8-hour layover because of this woman. We were all sitting in Dallas, and one of the people on the plane had videotaped it. So they came over and said, do you want to, I said, what, you have the tape, give me, oh my God, I want to like post it and just say, but before it became this thing, it wasn't huge yet. It was just this little thing. And I said, I was going to make the fireworks, but I'm not going to now because of some nut job lost her mind on the plane. So I'm going to miss the fireworks. And then it became beyond national news. But when I sent it to my friend, the video, first thing he says is, "You're in coach?" I'm like, "No, I'm not in coach. No, I'm not in coach. No, I'm not in coach." But that I was sitting right. Yeah, it was the first seat in like 4A, and she was standing right with we were all just looking at her. At first I thought it was just a flight attendant that had gone back to tell someone, because the flight attendant had her mic in her hand, and she was annoyed. She's like, everyone needs to take their seats. We're in an active taxiway. And so she puts the mic in that way. So I figured, someone's standing up, putting their bag in their jet ski in the overhead bin.
Right.
And then finally, this woman just started screaming, and I looked up, and she's just screaming. And I was like, oh God. And then she went off, and everybody just looked at her. No one said anything. They looked off, and I said to the woman next to me, "This is not good." And she said, "Well, she's gone." I said, "No, we're all going to have to get off the plane now. You know this." And she's like, "Why?" I said, "Because that was a complete, it's like a bomb scare thing. You can't say that. That's not real." And then they came back. "Where is the woman's luggage?" "Oh, it's still on." So we had to get off the plane.
No one was freaking out and believing what she was saying?
People were... Here's what I thought, and I think most people thought. I thought there was a guy that this is true. after that, she was screaming that guy's not real. Da, da, da. I'm thinking, oh, there's a guy that probably took her on a trip and wasn't really, didn't have the money, they didn't have the suite, they didn't have the nice cab, nice restaurant. Some idiot took her on some trip and fucked it all up.
You thought it was a dating thing.
So I'm waiting for
catfish.
I'm waiting for I'm waiting.
You thought it was a catfish
Yes,
thing.
a catfish.
This is not real.
Yeah, right.
He doesn't
Right.
look like his picture.
Right.
He isn't a,
Right,
a
that's
CEO.
exactly. I'm not kidding. Yeah, I thought there was going to be some guy walking up with his bags, like, "Sorry about my wife or my girlfriend," and there was no guy. So that's when I said, "Oh, there's no." She's talking about somebody like invisible person. So this is not good. So then, yeah, it was horrible. And then she tried getting back on the plane 5 hours later.
Wait, what? They pulled you off for 5 hours?
Yeah, in Dallas.
But there was another video of her saying to get everyone off the plane. Why would she try to get back on the plane if she was
That's a great
convinced
question.
that it was going down?
It's a great
Good question.
question.
That's why she's my co-host. That was an
that's right.
amazing question.
I didn't know
'Cause
that
they
she
came
tried
on.
to get
Your
back
two
on.
They
questions
all
today
came
have
on.
been, what is bukkake, and why would she try to get back on?
She hasn't explained what she saw either and why she did that.
No, I don't
Yeah, she
know.
did.
No, she didn't. She came back on and apologized for her actions, but she never explained exactly what she saw.
Yes, she did.
What did she say?
She said that she saw a shapeshifter.
Shapeshift.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. No,
shapeshifter.
that was before she said that.
I know, but she had taken like too much Ambien or something. She
I don't
said.
know. Something happened. Something happened, but that's the lovely part of flying, And now you just kind of,
Now, when you
It
said
happens.
you're incredibly, regardless of what you wear, a hat, you're incredibly recognizable.
in a lineup, I'm fucked for sure. Yes.
Do you have any weird stories about like you're just sitting beside
No.
somebody on a plane or in the airport, and do you have weird people approaching you?
Well,
And say-
yes, people approach me every second of the
I
day.
know.
But no, it's all good. I mean, people usually say, "Hey, big fan." But I do get sometimes, which is not a joke, which I used to make a joke. Yesterday I'd gone to the MGM to meet a friend, which I never do. But I said, "I'll meet you at the." I never go down to the MGMs, whatever. And I walked in, and one of the guys that literally walked by, first I had just walked in, and he goes like, "God, are you supposed to be Carrot Top? It's pretty good." And I just was like, yes, but it was just, you get a lot of that. Yeah.
I'm a shapeshifter.
I'm a shapeshifter, yeah.
Yes.
But his face was just like, "That's pretty good, man." It's like, yeah, okay,
I
You
know.
almost nailed it,
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Living in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
First of all, I had been to your home, which was
You have been to
stunning.
my home.
Yes, which is beautiful, and it is impeccably decorated and wonderful. But I would imagine the Vegas life is kind of a very different life. I know that people think about, because I live in show business, I feel like we have a pretty normal life. But when I went to your house, you had a hypnotist there and your friends who are...
It was just, I did not. Did I?
Yeah, which we call the Canadian hoe.
No, it was because I think it was my birthday lunch. We don't normally have hypnotists over.
Just hanging
Well, I
out
don't
at
think
his
you
house.
live with a hypnotist. I'm just saying that the amount of...
I had them there for you, just to put him in a trance, and I'm having a great time. Yeah,
You live a pretty normal life? Do you think you live
I think a very normal. I mean, especially in a town like Vegas, because people do. When you say where do you live in Vegas, and I say, yeah, I mean, like, on the Strip. No, I don't live on the fucking. People think you live in, live in the Luxor. I live in where I have a house in a area that's,
don't give the address.
That is normal outside of. It's like when I also have a house in Orlando. So when I say, I live in Orlando, they say, oh, Disney. No, not Disney. I don't live in the Magic Kingdom.
But you're from Florida.
Yeah, I do live in the Magic Castle, by the way. But
There
it's
is a
just
community in
odd.
Disney.
But yeah, I do. I'm from Florida. That's where I grew up at the.
And I also I follow you on Instagram. You follow him on all his platforms. You have amazing little vehicles there. You have like a boat
In Florida, yes.
Well, not in Vegas.
No, that's what I said.
It's a desert boat.
But don't you partake? You
desert bed.
partake in like the parties and stuff in Vegas.
No.
No.
No, well, I'm old. I don't go anywhere. People a lot of times they do say that all the time. They say it was like a Rat Pack thing in Vegas. Do you have like the Rat Pack and all you guys hang out? I said no, I don't go out with. Like after the show, I don't go meet Celine Dion for sushi. I don't think so. No, I don't think.
Celine Dion for sushi in Vegas.
random.
That was
I
a
know-
random.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I know some of the people there, of course.
Are you-
like Wayne Newton? And I don't go roller skating after the shows. Or
That would
whatever.
be a great.
That would be great. We should
That would
try
be
to-
a viral
I should
moment.
make
You and
that.
Wayne Newton and Carrot Top.
We should do that.
roller.
You don't have
skating.
like a thing you do after your show. I know my dad has a thing he does. He goes for soup every time after
I
the
do.
show.
You do?
I do. My
He goes,
throat.
and he sits
Yeah,
by
yeah,
himself
yeah.
and eats soup.
I like that.
I do.
yeah.
People go, hey, after the show, we want to hang out. Can we come backstage? And I just sit,
and eat soup. Chicken
rock and
soup.
roll, man.
Sure, come back and watch me eat soup.
That's what I do.
That's what we do. Yeah.
But do you have any?
I mean, once in a while we'll go out for like on a Saturday night at the end of the week, and because I'm off on Sunday, I might go have a little dinner somewhere, but not normally.
Not
I
normally.
used to just go home and watch Sports Center and
Are you
cry and look at my notes and thinking, what
You're a big. Are you a football fan?
huge, yeah.
Yeah, you are. And your
I was
team
just,
is the,
the
Dolphins.
yeah.
Florida. You sticking to the
Dolphins, yeah. So well, that's all we had when I was a kid. We didn't have. It was one team.
Were you a Dan Marino fan?
Huge. I
Huge
met him.
Dan-
Not nice to me, but
He wasn't nice
No,
to you?
not to me. But it was okay. It's okay. I don't hold a grudge.
He was really nice to me.
Was he really?
He was. So I
That's
used
always
to.
the best. That's
Steve,
always the best.
our-
He's like, I have his phone number. We're like best friends. Well, bro, damn it. But
No,
yeah.
the truth is, Steve Levine, who's in the other room, he's been both our agents for mine for like 30 years, and you always used to book me at the Sunrise. Remember New
Yes,
Year's?
Sunrise
I saw-
Musical Theater, yeah.
the Sunrise, which is now it's some sort of church now. It's not even a.
yeah.
It's not even a.
I
a
prayed there
venue.
many nights as well. It should be a church.
But Dan Marino used to come to the shows, and a couple of times he would throw me a pass from the audience.
Oh,
I
my
actually
God.
caught passes. He treated me nice. Talk about your experience with Dan Marino.
It wasn't so like bestie, but like bestie. So how'd it go with you? Not good. It wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't a horrible thing. It was just I went, and it's also for charity. So I went.
Well, now it's good.
Now
No,
it's
seriously.
worse.
It was make a wish.
No, it was.
I made a wish that didn't come true.
No, I'm serious. It was for Jim Kelly's son's foundation. So I go and everyone is there. I'm John McEnroe to every sport, every big, and I was talking to John McEnroe. My mom had a tennis shop when I was a kid. Couldn't have been nicer. Everyone was nice, but the only reason I was there because it came through Jim Kelly's people. I said I really want to meet Dan Marino. And he said, I'll make it happen. So Jim said, did you meet Dan yet? And I said, no, I'll make it happen. So he yells across, there's like this bar. It was at the Hard Rock or something. And he said, Dan, come say hi to Carrot Top. And it just went south from there. He just said like who and what. And then he came around. It never came around. I went around to go say hi to him. And he said, you okay?
Why?
And I don't know.
Why?
I just remember it like it was just an hour ago. And I said, I'm sorry, what's that? He said, are you okay? And I said, yeah, I'm fine. How are you? And he
Was your
said,
nose bleeding?
I don't know. Exactly. So I just like, yes, I'm fine. And then he just, went on his way. And I said, well, I guess that was me getting to meet him. So I thought that was weird. So I said to my friend, let's go. So we went around this back door to get out the back. And as we went out the back, they said, you can't go this way. And that's when John McEnroe came in. And I said, oh, we talked to him. And I said, now see how easy it is? Like how nice John McEnroe was to me. He didn't have to be.
Right.
And then I said hi to a couple of the people, and I went to go back the other way. And as I went around back again, Dan Marino comes in, and I said, are you okay? And he said, what's that? I said, are you okay? And he said, yeah, why? I said, okay, just making sure, okay. It was just the most weirdest night, and he never said hi, never shook, just weird.
Oh, it sounded like he was
But
just checking on you.
you're just checking
He was
on
just
each
checking
other.
on me,
He's
make
just-
sure I was
yeah,
okay.
that's not bad.
He's
Not a
he's
mean
Not
guy.
terrible.
Okay, you
I thought it
fine?
was going to be worse.
And that's why I said it wasn't that bad. It was just bad.
Just you're okay.
It was just, and thank
was
God I'm
okay.
okay.
You just had high expectations.
Well, a hello is not really that high of an expectation.
But it was more
If
than
you're
hello.
supposed to go there just
wa-
to meet him.
But he was worried about you.
Yeah, it's more
Isn't
than
that good?
it wasn't just a hey and then walk away.
was
It was
empathy.
like,
I do you get that a lot when people say, you okay? And I'm
No.
like,
no.
No.
I get that a lot. Are you okay? And I said, yeah. And they go, you sure? Yeah, I'm fine. They're like, okay. Are you sure?
You get that a lot?
A lot.
Why?
You seem like, it was like, I don't know. It's like your joke. In fact, this happens a lot. Some woman walked just not that long ago, walked up and said, she goes, how are you? And I said, good. She goes, you can, this is very funny. She says, you can be honest with me. Seriously, how are you? And I said, I'm fine. And then she goes, no, seriously, okay? I said, I was fine until you fucking walked up to me. Like I was really fine. But now I'm not. Now I'm like looking in the mirror, like, am I not right? Am I not okay?
What? Why?
And it was like your joke. I always tell this. as you, I don't do it. I tell people one of my favorite Howie jokes is when you be in the elevator and the door would open.
Right.
And someone said, are you Howie Mandel? And you said, yeah. Why aren't you smiling?
Right.
And you're like, how fucking weird would that be if the door's open? I'm just like, I just love that because I get that a lot.
People do worry.
Are you okay? And I'm like,
I don't get, are you okay? But people go, how are you? When people say to me, how you doing? I go, I don't know.
Yeah, I say good.
I don't say
you look
good.
tired.
I
I'm like,
say-
you look tired today.
Isn't it weird when you're
Well,
a public
I am tired.
Yeah, but when you're a public figure, people think they can
Oh, of course. Yeah.
be incredibly
Sure, of
honest.
Of course.
And
And when they
to-
say you look great, that totally means you don't look good.
No, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that. They
Oh,
go,
you look so good. That means
you look
I look like
tired.
shit.
You look. But to walk up to anybody and go, "You look tired," is not a compliment. Or
I love
what-
you. You're so much better looking than you are on
Yeah,
TV.
I
I'm
get-
surprised.
Yeah, yeah. We
they
get,
say
yeah.
to you, all
Was
the-
that an example, or
Yes.
you're just
No,
coming
that's
to that
an
right
example.
now?
I get that.
Example.
We all get that when I think, yeah, you look so much better in person. I'm like, what?
Do people come up to you in the gym? Are you still
Yeah.
working out a lot?
A little bit, not a lot, a little bit, just to maintain.
But that's a lot.
It's a lot.
How often do you go to the gym?
I go like 4 or 5 times a week, but I only do like 30 minutes.
Oh,
Just kind
really?
of go in and do a little stretching a little bit. I don't go crazy.
Right.
I just usually go home and lift my hate mail, and that's all I have to do. Here's the weirdest one that happened to me with a person. I was at a restaurant bar, and I was just sitting there and by myself watching football or something, and this woman came up. She says hi, and same thing. She goes, she says, let me do something real quick.
Already,
let
that's a
me
problem.
let me just fix something real quick.
Fix something?
And I thought she was gonna do something like take my hair, and there was a piece that she wanted to pull back. So I looked and I said, what's that? You want to fix something? What are you gonna fix? And like my mom would do when you're a little kid, she took her thumb. She licked her thumb. No. Yes, she did. And she like fixed my eyeliner. She thought my eyeliner was too. She goes, come here. You gotta smudge that. And I was like, what? I remember putting on my Instagram, like, this woman put her fucking hand, like my mom, like, and Mom, I don't want you to fix I don't want you to spit on me.
Fucking God,
Right.
Can you
that's
imagine
horrible.
if someone did that to
No,
you?
I didn't.
No, I would
it happened-
die. I
it
would
happened so-
die.
I did. It happened so fast. She only got one eye, so I'm like.
No, but that's
she
your
only got one
eye.
Like,
It's
no,
not even a-
No, I know. No, I'm telling you. I swear to God.
That's the worst fucking thing.
I know. I told you it was the worst thing that's ever happened.
What did you say? What
I
did you
said,
say?
get the fuck away from me.
Get the fuck
My
away from
eyeliner
me.
looks fine.
You know, and now she's saying that
Yeah.
her encounter with you was probably really rude.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
she just wanted to meet
Yeah,
you and
yeah.
come up to you, and now
Yeah.
you're really
Did you
rude.
say how the fuck could you? Why do you think you could spit on? Why would you do that?
I don't know. I just remember going like, no, stop. My mom used to do that. Just get away from me. And then she was like, well,
That's
let me fix the other one. I got it.
No,
I can fix
no,
my own eye.
No, that's like a fucking horror film. And then put your
No,
thumb
literally.
in my eye.
I'm
oh
not.
my
It's.
God.
I remember posting it. People were loving it. They're like, "What?" I said, "You can't make it up." And I thought my eyeliner looked fine.
It's not about the make. Oh my God, that is a horrible. Even inside, I want to throw up and
I
swallow
know.
a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a horrible.
I know.
People are really weird.
yeah.
The approach. How often do you do? You're doing 5 shows a week, 6 shows.
6. Yeah.
6 shows a week.
I had a guy on the planes that asked me if magicians really can levitate.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, the guy next to me, he just said, "Man, I've been a fan forever." And he says that show with the guy that levitates, that's not real, right? And I said, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "The like levitate." He said, "I was at the Luxor and I went and saw this guy."
Right.
And I said, and he levitated over the Luxor. And I said, "Oh, I know who you're talking about." He said, "Can you do that for real?" And I said, "How old are you?" And he was like, "What?" And I said, "How old are you?" And he said, 28. And I said, "Never ask another guy, an adult, if some guy can levitate, because that's fucking weird." He's like, "So can he?" I said, just figure it out on your own, dude. God
Shut the
damn.
fuck up. Let me
Shut
get
the
your
fuck-
eyeliner.
Let me fix your eyeliner.
Let me fix your eye. The
Fucking-
questions, you know what? I would think that because you're in Vegas so much, you could write a book on all the weird approaches
Oh, yeah,
and all
I-
the weird,
I should.
you know.
I know.
You know what he said? And that's the name of the book, Carrot Top. You know what he said?
You know what he said?
You know what he said? They do say,
It's a good name for a book, dude.
do you do meet and greets?
Yes.
You do? And is that part of, I find that weird. I
I
always,
sometimes find them fun, sometimes, because you get to meet them and they're so excited. So I used to do it after the show, which when you're done, you're kind of, I don't really like, I don't know, if the show doesn't go as well as you want it to, then you
meet
gotta
and greet
meet
is
the
just
fucking people. You know? So
That's why I never worked. I always imagine those people that you never worked a cruise. Did you ever work
never.
a cruise?
No, I did one with Adam Sandler.
You did a cruise with Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
God, that to me that would be the nightmare because the audience
living with
lives
them.
with you.
Oh, literally. Well, let me tell you, if Adam was here, is he not here? He was here earlier.
Nobody's here. Do you see him?
I think I see him.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Are you
I see
okay?
dead people.
Okay, Miss Marino.
That's why people want to know. So I was on a cruise. This is great too because it was like for the University of Miami. So we flew out. We cruised out from Miami on this cruise, and it was, thank God it was only. It was like a 2-day thing, so it wasn't like a long. But I remember saying
48 hours.
I did remember saying I can't. I'm really not good with hanging out with people, the same people. Like that's what kind of scares me about doing any kind of. That's what's great about the luck. It's a lot of people changing out, but if you had to
You
do
mean
the
in
same,
Vegas? You know,
yeah, like cruise. You're like, is it the same people going to come to the show? Like, so we did this big, huge show, and it was a horrible storm, and the boat was rocking, right? And this is when I had one prop trunk, and it was sliding on stage. No, not a joke. So it would go behind me, and I'd grab it, and then it would go this way, and I'd grab it, and I kind of made a great gag at it because it was just almost like made up. It was just silly. I'd pull a prop, and then it would slide. And I won them over because they were drunk and I had visuals and I was making fun of it. Adam comes up with it like he sat on a stool and it was so rough, and Adam was just doing his like, my mom, and it was just it was just a bad for both of us, bad gig. So after the show he says, let's go back to the rooms. We go back to our rooms, and I said, next day, you want to go do something? He's like, I'm not leaving my room. I don't want to see anybody. I kind of feel the same way. So we just kind of hibernated in our bunks in our rooms and never went anywhere. And then we finally left and went back to Miami, and I remember we ordered pizza. So one of my bits, my jacket was a Domino's bit where I'd had a Domino's jacket and a hat, and I'd order Domino's and they'd show up and I'd have the outfit on. You order pizza? Did you order pizza? I'm like, what the fuck? It was a dumb bit. So he said, we got to do that bit. So we went back to the hotel and we did the actual, we called a pizza place, and he had the jacket on, the hat. It was very great. We made fun of a good ending to our horrible cruise moment, but yeah.
But it is
never
tough.
Good when I do cruise ships. Yeah.
Well,
Steve Levine is here. Do not book me on a cruise. No cruises.
No cruises for us at this point. We are in our golden years, both of us. So that's good. A Carrot Top Howie Mandel cruise. You know what? We started talking about this, and the agent is like looking.
He's
my
thinking,
God!
hey, this could be good.
This is not a great moment of a podcast. This is ka-ching.
This is a ship.
I'm putting these guys on a boat. But I had a similar thing with being the opening act for Diana Ross in Las Vegas. I did not do well any night, and then it was Caesars, and I had to go down and eat breakfast and see people who hated me. And every night, like there's no
winning when you're going to do when you're the opening act for Diana Ross and you're doing comedy. No one's there to see comedy.
Not anymore. I don't know that. Were you ever the opening act for
yes,
people?
but I don't know if it was like I did it for not, I was like Brooks and Dunn, but it worked because it was a country fest, and they
loved you.
Yeah, it worked fine.
You
but
did well.
No, but
I did well.
Oh no, but
Scott did well. Howie sucked.
No, I did, but I didn't open for Dunn. I never opened for Donna Ross, but I did, like I said, Brooks and Dunn, a couple. But I also opened for another couple comics. Did
it ever go bad for you as an opening act? Did you ever have a corporate that went rough?
Oh yes, absolutely.
I have a lot of corporates that go rough.
Yeah.
Let Steve. He sends us out on these.
No, they're horrible. They're horrible.
So for those people that don't know, as comedians, this agent who is staring at this podcast as we go gets big ka-ching for like a corporation, a bank or something. They'll say, it's their end of year party, their Christmas party, their sales celebration, and they say they want a comedian. And the buyer will say Carrot Top would be great or Howie Mandel would be great. But these people are, first of all, they not necessarily Howie Mandel fans, number one. Number two, they're sitting with their bosses and they're uncomfortable and they're forced to go. What is the toughest one?
I did one for Starbucks, but they were wired, so it was great. I mean, they were just literally. I even said, "You guys never seen a crowd this crazy," because they were all
caffeine is good.
I guess they were like, "You guys are fucking great." It was one of the best ones at Bally's, and I remember it being tremendous. Then I did one for a pizza company. I can't mention the name of the pizza.
Don't. If it went bad, don't say.
No, it didn't go bad.
Tell me about a bad one.
No, it went bad.
Oh.
but they loved it. So it was.
What do you mean?
I remember. I don't know. I don't think there was a show that I could have ever done that was worse. And I mean, literally. And I got done, and I was like, I remember my guy said, "You still have the meet and greet," and I said, "I can't." And they said, "You have to. That's you know." And I said, I'm just not going to do it. Just tell them I can't do it. And they said, well, it makes you feel any better. They're going crazy. They loved you, the dude. And I went, what? And he said, no, literally. So I said, were they at the same show we were just at? And they came in, this 100 of them, or it was a lot of them. It was all of the, like every.
They show appreciation through silence.
Like for every topping, there was a person I had to meet. and they were going crazy. They said, that was the best show we've ever seen. And I
Really?
said, literally. And I remember saying, you haven't seen a lot of shows. Like that, really? Yeah. Sometimes you think that. You're like, it's crazy.
I know. I once played Florida. And you booked me. It was the Grocers Association, and what it was is they had this convention in Florida where all the people that owned stores and supermarkets on islands off the coast, out there in the Caribbean and whatever, they would come into Florida or to Miami at this one point and do all their shopping for the year. So most people at each table, English was not their first language.
Right, yeah.
So I would say whatever I said, then there'd be silence, then you would hear an interpreter interpreting in Spanish whatever I had said, and then there would be a little giggle. It didn't go well.
Oh, God.
But and then I'd hear people explaining what a meet and greet is, and then you would hear people go, no.
Now, weren't you the one that, if I'm not mistaken, which makes me laugh again, that you do your meet and greets under a table?
I did.
See? What? I love that.
So I used to.
I fucking love that.
Rich is there, who's been on the road. I never really understood meet and greet. Like we want to meet him backstage, and I think that our reputation precedes us as far as being maybe different or odd. So Rich we would turn off the lights in the room.
That's so great.
And I would lie under a table, and he would bring in each person after the show into the dressing room, close the door behind him. It'd be pitch black. And I would just go from under the table. I'd go, hello? Go, yeah, thanks for having us at the show. I go, can you come a little closer? And they'd come a little closer, and I'd tap on their shoe. I'd go, it's really nice to meet you. Thank you. And they'd go, thank you. And it was so uncomfortable. And they would leave.
I tell that. Thank God it's true, because I tell people that you did that. And they're like, what? I'm like, yes. That's brilliant.
Did you ever?
I want to call it. I want to do an eat and greet. That way they're happy. You have like food, and you meet them and you eat, and then everyone's happy.
Haven't you ever
fucked with anybody? You don't have to meet them. Just eat.
How about maybe I'll take this out so that you could keep doing it if you want to keep doing it. But how about your writer? Is there anything that you tell people you need for that show before you go into the show?
Oh, you think I have writers?
I don't know.
Writer.
Oh, writer. I thought you said writers.
Writer.
You must be mistaken.
No,
writers.
I've been doing this thing now. We've been doing.
Oh, writers. Yeah. What do you do? We do something. What do you do?
I didn't know if you want to talk about it.
I can talk about it because they could see it. I have Rich now. If I fly privately, I have Rich email the guy that's picking me up. And they say, Howie has a ritual before the show. I will be the road manager. I have a little bag. I'm going to hand you the bag. I want you, when Howie deplanes, you have to hold the bag within 3 feet of his head until he gets situated. And the driver is like following me all around the tarmac. And then
you had to pass it behind with one hand.
Yes.
Then you had to.
And at my shows now, I do a thing where they see the guy who had picked me up, and then I'll bring him out on stage. Do you ever do anything weird to the?
No, but my writer was put online one time, and I got a lot of because I don't need anything at my show. I mean,
you don't.
I mean, as far as crazy like the old stupid writers, they put brown M&Ms or whatever.
Yeah, right.
And the reason they did that was because they wanted to read the writer. I think that's why the real reason they did that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they would say brown M&M, so they would see if they read it. So they would do the brown M&Ms, you didn't read the fucking writers. So we did stupid things like my crew wanted socks or something. It was I don't know.
What?
It was like tube socks and I don't need some tea and some Crown Royal or something. Other than that, there was some other odd things. But it came online and people would come to me and like, you're like the biggest diva in comedy. Is that really your writer? I'm like, no, it's like there's not a lot of things on there. Like you have to have like tube socks. I'm like, no, that was my crew. I don't need tube socks.
I love that you go, no, it's not true. It's for my crew. They're divas.
They need tube
I'm
socks.
easy.
They need tube socks.
I can perform without socks.
I need lube for my bukkake afterwards.
That's every single time they need new tube socks?
Yeah.
No, it's a joke.
No, they do.
They do.
They have them every night. Yeah, they have tube socks on there every night. So at the end of the tour, they have like 75 pairs of fucking tube socks. Yeah, I don't know.
They want them?
No, we don't use them. They're just for so they can see them. So they read it.
And
But I just get like Crown or wine or something fun and some tea and
You'll do 5 shows a week, all year, or at least 50 weeks a year, 40 some odd weeks a year, and then you also do concerts. You'll go outside of Vegas and do live concerts.
We don't do as many as we used to because the Luxor takes up a lot of time.
And you have to take do you have a warehouse now? Where are all your props?
They're underneath this couch right here. No, they're in a warehouse near the Luxor. Yeah.
You have a warehouse.
Yeah.
Filled with things like briefcases
Literally,
that shoot tampons.
I've got so many. It's unreal, and I go through this sometimes. I kind of reminisce and think of like one that's in there that was one of my favorite ones on the Tonight Show. And this is kind of a funny story because you've done this show many times and many shows just in general. So it's kind of you get away with maybe more on that when you would Regis and Kathy Lee. Which was funny because I would do that show and then I would, it's like just, they're like, no, you can't do it's an Aaron Rodgers helmet. They're not going to get it. But it kills. They're not going to get it. So the Tonight Show, I had this, it was a Bill Clinton podium and it was a very well-made prop. It had a presidential seal and it had a green and red buzzer and I had, access to so I did not have sex. And it would go like, true, false, true, false. So I had this is great. So I'm rehearsing it. And Jay's over there, watching, doing his thing. And I have a foot pedal where I hit the Monica Lewinsky head would come up behind the thing. But it's beautifully, you see, especially on TV, it's just, true, false. And it builds. It's like, I did not have sex. And this is true. And all of a sudden I'd hit the pedal and this head would come up and I go, not now. And I go back to the speech. And so it beyond kills,
Right.
It's just a rehearsal at the Tonight Show. There's 8 camera guys and 4 guys and 1 lady with a clipboard saying you can't do anything that you just did. So standards and practices lady hated me. So kills. And I look over and Jay's like, he's laughing. Oh, guys, that's going to be the closer, just so you know. And she walks over and she's like, everything was fine except, and it was weird. Everything was fine. I did a mousetrap to catch gay mice. It had like a little mirror ball and a mousetrap. And she's like, I guess the gay mousetrap's okay. I'm like, well, why wouldn't it be? She's like, And I said, podium? No, the podium's fine. I said, all right, that was in question, but the podium with the blowjob was fine, right? So I'm like, I can't believe this. So I go back to my dressing room. I'm all excited. This is going to be the best set I've ever done. The Tonight Show. The ending is it's so timely. It just happened.
Right.
The Monica was. So she comes walking in. Like 5 minutes. I'm already dressed, makeup on. You ever see me with makeup? Oh,
No.
I look so good.
No.
So I'm all ready to go, and she says, "Oh, real quickly, you can't use your hand to put her head back down."
Oh.
And I'm like, what's that? She's like, yeah, you can't use your hand. I said, well, what do I do then? She goes, you can't go back down. It can come up, but you can't. Well, the joke would get a laugh, but the big laugh was when I go, not now, and go back to the
Right.
So I'm like, well, I don't know how. So she said, just don't use your hand.
Don't use your
So I go up and it's the moment I'm there, fucking killing. That's exactly what I did.
I didn't mean
No,
to.
I did. No, I used my elbow. No, I said I did not have sex with it, and it did okay. It still killed, but boy, they go to commercial break, and I'm like, the crowd's going nuts. I sit down, and Tracy comes over. Oh my God, that was your best set ever. And my God, it's just they already know the numbers. People are this point stayed at 4.8 and went up to 5.2 when you came on. I don't know what that means.
Wait, and then the rating or the
there's they know every number within seconds of people watching the Tonight Show. So when the comic comes on, they leave. So they stayed for me. So she said, "This is great. Everyone stayed, and the numbers went up, and you're a genius." And I said, "I'm like, that was good." And Jay's like, "That was really great. That's your best set ever." And then all of a sudden, oh shit, here comes the lady with the clipboard. She's like, "I told you." I said, "I'd use my hand." She's like, we're going to have to edit it. I'm like, no. She's like, yeah, I told you not. So I think it went from, thing, and they cut it, the last, my big thing. But yeah, so they still brought me back. But I always say in the show, they threw me out forever, but they had me back. But then she's like, every time I tell you something, you have to listen to me.
My God!
I said, oh, you do? I didn't know that. But Regis and Kathleen, that show was always fun too. Cause
were they editing you? Well, I love.
Oh, they would just
Michael Gelman.
Yeah, no, he would. Gelman's great. He would just always say, and I'm like, no, this kills. Trust. I'm like, I do it every night. I do it but our crowd is old ladies. I'm like, old ladies know what football is. No, they don't. Yes, they do.
That was what was hard when you're a prop comic. I remember like the first big thing after I got St. Elsewhere, Dick Clark used to do these fall preview specials. Yeah. And they asked me, because I was on St. Elsewhere, will you do a fall preview special? Will you do stand-up on it? And this was going to be a big network stand-up. And I remember I got on the phone with Dick Clark and he wanted to go over my set. And then I remember telling him the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a rubber surgical glove. I'm going to pull it over my head and I'm going to blow it up with my nose. And then it's going to pop off. He goes, but you need to end on a joke. Yes. I go, well, I'm going to put a rubber glove on my head and blow it up and pop it off. He goes, I heard you the first time, but it's important. We want to hear laughter, and then we'll hit a sound cue. I go, it'll get a laugh. He goes, why? I go, I don't know. But it's just a glove that's going to come up. But explaining.
Have you ever done that? Because that would be funny. A glove with the. Have you ever done that one?
No, I just thought of it.
Have done that one.
I want to try it. Yeah, that might be good. But explaining to
I have a Dick Clark story.
Go ahead.
So I did the American Music Awards, and Dick Clark said to me, we're running late. Do not, this is funny, it's so dumb too. He said, don't say anything, don't ad-lib, just read off the teleprompter. It's as big as this, that, the huge. So I said, I got it, Mr. Clark, thank you. And everyone's there. Madonna, it was just everyone that you possibly could imagine in the audiences. So they said, please welcome to announce the best, best pop album of whatever. It was some bullshit award. Carrot Top. So I walked out, and I remember there wasn't even a smattering of applause. There was just nothing, and everything. Okay, it's weird. And then I walked out. They were seating everybody. They were moving. Everyone was moving everywhere. So just as a comic, I had to make a reference to the fact that there's 100 people moving around the room. So I said, "Oh, thanks everybody." I said, "Well, the problem seating everyone. The problem is there's only one usher," and I point to Usher.
Right. That's
kills. Funny. I go, there's a problem. There's only one usher. She's sitting there with Madonna. Madonna's like, that's so funny. Everyone's laughing. And I do my thing. I present the thing, and please walk. And I walk off, and Dick Clark's like, I just fucking told you not to do anything. And I said, it was funny. He says, no. I said, just read the teleprompter. Why did you do a joke? I said, it killed. And I never forget. He's so mad at me. I was like, it was that quick. I just said, well. Yeah, so Dick Clark. He
wasn't nice to you.
Dick Clark loved me though. He was very, very, very nice.
Apparently, he
You're
was
on everyone's bad side.
Dan Marino,
everyone's bad side.
checking on
Dan
you.
Marino. No, Dick Clark was very, very good to me. He always put me on those shows, and Dan Marino not so much.
He's checking on you.
He's checking on me.
Is there somebody?
I should send him a little video email. Say, I'm still okay. I'm good. I'm good.
We will. We'll send this.
We'll
send this and see if there could be a reaction video on TikTok. We should put this up on TikTok and see if Dan Marino's not on TikTok.
Maybe he is. What does Dan Marino do?
Dan Marino? He's a color commentator now.
Oh.
For football.
Is he black? No, color commentator. Sorry. He's a colored commentator.
There you go. I see what you did there.
Best line of the day.
It was.
Is he black? I don't know. He's a color commentator.
If you're going to come and do the fucking podcast,
you got to do it.
Just answer the questions. Yes, you couldn't. You're great, man. You are great. You are a national treasure. What do you want to do? You've done a lot of. Do you? Is there things that you don't do a podcast? You don't do.
No, not yet. But I mean, everyone every day someone says, "Why don't you have one?" I say, it requires work.
But I follow you on like TikTok or on YouTube.
I try to keep it entertaining and fun and lighthearted.
You tell stories.
I tell stories.
You do, and you have 1 million stories, and they're all pretty interesting. People should follow you. We'll have the.
I try to make fun about people, just like things that people might like. My new thing is called rants. It's basically, every comic has done that probably. But
what are you ranting about right now?
This is just the people that back in parking spots. See, when you pull into a parking lot, and you're behind them, they have to back in. Like, well, are you robbing the place? Why don't you just pull in? You just, I don't know why. It's the new thing. When you got to back in first, so you can get out.
Fast.
They're showing
fast.
off.
Yeah.
What?
They're showing off.
Do you think they're showing off, or do you think that's?
back end skills?
I think back-end skills are anybody who backs their car in is just bored. They just look.
They have
for,
extra time to kill.
It's just
nothing
busy
else
work.
to do.
It's just like I got nothing to do. I'm here. I got a minute to spare. Why don't I make it a little more fancy?
Yeah.
I would imagine anybody who backs in their spot is a member of the HOA. Right? Those are also
That's the
people
only
that have nothing to do. They want to.
They have nothing to do.
I back into
Just walk
parties.
around.
Then you're bored. You
No, I'm
back,
not.
no, you
Check your
back in a
po-
parking space. I saw you
Sometimes I
today.
do.
You have, but you don't. There
They
are
just
people,
walk around the neighborhood and make sure that your plants are, and your grasses and
right?
your light bulb is the right.
You have also created you have a style. You're very stylish.
You think this is style?
Well, it's your style.
It's your style. Yeah. I mean, I don't really play in it. It's just kind of, yeah. I should have dressed up better for this, actually.
No, this
No,
is-
I like it.
No, we
it's
like
your
it.
style.
How do you describe your look, your
Your
style?
aesthetic.
Homeless, actually. People say to me all the time, you could get jeans that go all the way down to your feet, probably, and maybe get some
Well,
without
the unhoused is trending.
without holes in it. It's trending now. Yeah,
It is. So
It is.
you're
I have
right.
a bandana on my. People are like, "What's with the bandana? Are you in a gang?" I say, "Yes, I'm in a gang, and I will have you killed."
But there is a lot of thought gone into. I love the idea when somebody can be original, when somebody can be, you don't look like anyone else.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah, right. People always say you already don't, so this is just an added, bonus.
Right, but
added bonus to this. You get this.
So is there thought that goes into?
I mean, a little bit. No, but yeah, a little bit.
But one more bandana around the
Maybe
leg.
one
One
more
more band. A headband.
No, I just. No, yeah, I do have a headband. Yeah, I don't really overthink it. I just kind of get dressed and it's like I don't feel like gonna.
But I like.
Oh, thank
you own it.
That would be my
and
next
you
thing
wear
I
it.
want to do. I do want to do a clothing line, but everyone, of course, does a fucking clothing.
You know what you should do?
But you sell merch.
Yeah, yeah.
Your merch is kind of you.
Yeah, but I mean like an actual, like a fun, like a thing. But everyone does it, so it's kind of. But it's been my passion for about 20 years. Where
So
I kind of
wh-
made
so
like
why
my
don't you
stage clothes. I make a lot of my own stage clothes. Everything I wear on
make
stage.
them?
Yeah,
What do you mean you make them?
I have people in a sweatshop make them.
Children?
Yes, but I create. I design them and then I have the kids make them.
But wow, I want to say things and then I don't want to be canceled.
No, I try. Yeah,
So I was
you're a mean clown. Fucking get it sewn. Jesus.
That's it. So, but the point.
You're not gonna cancel. You're
What?
You're
No,
not gonna
I can
get
edit
canceled.
this.
I might. You're not. You're fine.
We won't get
And the
canceled.
kids are all of age.
No,
They're fine.
anyone can
They're
get
real.
canceled.
Yeah.
For me?
Anyone can get
Anyone
canceled.
can.
You can cancel yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that you should mass produce some of your most popular props and sell them.
Oh, there you go. It'd be good.
Like the shooting tampon purse I would buy.
That would go off.
That's
the
timeless.
That would.
Yeah.
It's timeless. Timeless.
It is.
It is timeless.
And once a month you have a big sale.
Yeah,
on these
yeah,
products.
nice.
Do you ever open up your warehouse to?
That's a good one.
It is.
And once a month, I have a big blowout sale. It's good.
Any chance you'll do a special?
I think this is special. What we're doing right now. I think this is very special. Yes, I would love to. No, I would love to do that. In fact, I've talked about that with Mr. Levine for many.
But
many
here's what
years.
I'm saying. Some of the people that I have on, like the Bert Kreischers and the Ari
Yeah, yeah.
Shafirs of this, we don't need anymore the, not disparaging to them, but the Netflixes and the
Yeah.
HBOs of the world. You can, and you have this huge following, you could put out whatever you want on YouTube.
Right.
And own it and live it and bring more people into it. Is there, have you
Yeah,
ever
'cause I
thought
don't-
about doing that?
Yeah, because there actually is talk about it. Not necessarily like you said, Netflix. I don't think I need to do that. Back in the day, it was the HBO specials and those kind of things, which you were very successful at that.
I've done about 8 or 9, but the truth of the matter is that I was just thinking your warehouse is a special.
It's a special.
And, a walk through time and the jokes and the references and all these props that are just
there
sitting
is.
there. There is something that I think everybody would want to see.
Yeah,
Everybody would enjoy.
There are some fun moments in there.
Even telling the story to young people who don't know who Monica Lewinsky, just to see this thing
Yeah,
again
right.
and to watch
yeah,
it go
they
up.
would go, oh, yeah.
And every prop has a story.
Right.
And, Carrot Top story time
I like that. I like it.
is
from
a great idea. It's a great backdrop. I think it's saleable.
I like that idea.
Yeah, it is a good idea.
Yeah.
And I think that people would click on it, would watch it, would share it.
Yeah.
These moments are great. You are a classic.
We could shoot it at David Copfield's theater warehouse. His is next to mine, but his is an actual museum.
And you,
Like
what,
you
what
like-
makes yours different?
Well, his is a museum, mine's a warehouse. So when you go to his place, it's like this, where there's the Tonight Show chairs and the Caesars booth and all these things. Mine's just shit everywhere in boxes. So when you go to David's,
Well,
it's like
before
it's,
you do
but
the
we'll make
special-
it. We'll shine it up a little bit.
Or
Make it nice.
have Carrot Top's unboxing special.
Oh, I like that
Yeah.
too.
So you're just
Oh,
in a warehouse and you have, comedy
I
unboxing
like that.
special.
I like the unboxing.
And then and you could do.
You know, I've
could
learned
do,
from this. I have a book already and a title. I've got a special. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
This was good. I did
But it
this.
should be. If I don't know, is there any order to how those things are laid out in the warehouse?
No, just shit after shit. We just no.
No, because
in fact,
you can,
what I would
you
do,
can
I wouldn't even
unbox
plan.
from 80
No, I
to
wouldn't.
85, like
No,
91
right,
to 95.
Sure. Well, it's kind of categories like political, this or that, so that's good too. But what I could do is just, and what I would think would be fun is not even look through it first. Don't cheat. Just pull the box and go and start going. Oh my God, this one, and get the real reaction.
Yeah. And unboxing is very big on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you could have other
There's
people
the-
unbox. They could pull
they-
it out
right.
and you could comment to it.
Right. I
So
like
you
it.
have,
I like it. Will you do one of those?
I would be your unboxer. I would open the box and hold it up.
Because
I'd
I'll
appear
be
on
at the
it.
airport with a little bag. I know how to get you to the car. I know how to get you.
I would love to produce something with you.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I've always been a huge fan. You know that.
Yeah,
and I
yes,
love
I
you,
do.
Scott. And you're
I
a
do.
really good human being.
I appreciate
and
that.
you are a treasure. And I don't think enough people know what kind of treasure you are. I think everybody knows Carrot Top. Everybody knows you got a room in Vegas. Everybody knows it's really successful. I don't think everybody knows the treasure that you are, that I know from the time
Nicolas
that I met
Cage
you.
is a national treasure. I'm just a treasure.
That actually is a funny idea, to have Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
Invite him to your warehouse.
Yeah, we're friends.
Are you friends?
Yeah.
So why don't you have Nicolas Cage?
You want to talk about something fun? Just have just Nicolas Cage and me at lunch, and have him just.
Why don't you invite
have him?
That's
come,
the special. He should pull the box, pull things out of the box, and you do the bit.
Yeah, that's great.
You do the bit.
Yeah,
Nicolas Cage
yeah,
or
we'll
me.
go. If I get him, or you. It's fine. Or me. We could tell.
like Nicolas
It's not.
Cage.
I
Yeah.
like Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
I
no.
think that would go
It'd be
fucking
great.
viral.
It would. Of
Those-
course it would. I see. Talking about a national treasure.
What is this?
Look at this. Yeah.
It's called Nicolas Cage's Carrot Top National Treasure Tour.
Treasure tour.
Yeah.
Unboxing.
It's done. Are you going to produce it? Our agent is right there. Don't you think that's amazing?
Yeah,
I
thumbs up.
do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, no, I do too. Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we already have the. I mean,
Do you understand what bukkake is?
Nick lives in
I just want to
Vegas.
know if we kind of finished, but do you understand what bukkake is?
Yeah. Do you want me to call mom again and see if
Call
she-
mom one more
Okay.
time. We should close on bukkake.
Okay.
We'd like to share with the family. This is a family show, and that's why we should end with mom telling us who bukkake is. Is there anything you want to plug?
Series coming out of
Luxor?
Just, yeah, we have the
Hello,
Luxor.
mom.
Oh,
Hi.
Hi.
We're here with Carrot Top, and
What?
we're here with Carrot Top.
how is he?
I can't hear.
We're
It's
here
going
with
in and out.
Carrot Top.
Oh, she
I'm
can't.
gonna call her back.
She can't hear. she
can't hear.
Or
What?
that was her excuse not to know who I was. Well, I
No,
can't
she
hear.
knows, she
no,
knows.
I can't hear.
Hello?
I'm with.
Hi. Can you hear us now?
No, I can't hear you.
Well, how did you answer that question?
I just hear. Can you hear you? Can you?
It's okay. Just
If you
Carrot
want-
Top is on.
like that. You
Carrot.
can- it's so
Carrot. Carrot Top is on.
Mom, we just have one question.
fine. Okay.
Do you know what bukkake is?
I might if I think about it more.
Think about it.
Think about it.
Stand on the
Think
line.
about it and call us
I
back.
just had COVID. I can't. My brain
She had
isn't
COVID.
working.
She's got COVID.
She has to do it right now.
She has COVID right now.
How is that possible? You're not sleeping there.
No.
No,
Fuck.
I'm fucking here. I'm not
I
in
have
the
COVID.
same
I have
house.
COVID right now. I don't give a shit.
Call a sick woman with COVID and ask her what bukkake is.
Jeez.
That's exactly. I'm icky.
Do you have your laptop there? Why don't you look it up?
Whatever.
Do you have your laptop? Look it up and explain to your daughter what bukkake is. Scott came in and
How do you
opened
spell
with
it? Even B U.
I think it's something that we never talk about in our house.
Does,
I see. That's
I'll
where.
give you a hint. Carrot juice.
Well,
Look it
you
up.
could tell me
Look
that.
it up.
Okay.
We're not going to tell you. You want to tell us. This is the closing to this
He
podcast.
explained it.
No, but she's going to give us a better.
Okay. Me
It has
look it up?
something to do with nostrils.
No, it
No,
doesn't.
it
No,
doesn't.
well, kind
Look
of.
it up.
Kind of. Well, I mean, if you,
Are you looking it up?
If, you're-
Depends where it goes.
if you have a good aim, it might be divot nostril.
Terry, are you looking it up?
It's like the old joke.
No,
Nice-
I'm not looking it up.
Are you near your
Watching
laptop?
House Hunters.
I don't know how to spell it. How do
I
you
don't
spell
either.
it?
It's B-U-K-K something. B-U-K.
Is it B-U-K?
B-U-K something, I think. Let me see in my
No.
phone. I already have it. It's my screensaver.
Isn't
Hold
it
on.
BTK? That was a killer.
It's
How do
on
you
my
spell
screensaver.
bukkake?
Hold on a
That's
second.
a killer. I know my serial killers.
Look it up.
B-U-K-K-A-K-E.
No, look up on your here. I'll look it up, Terry.
God.
And I want you to
can't.
read it.
I'm on the phone.
Can you say?
You have a laptop.
Can you say it again?
I'm not looking it up.
B-U-K-K-A-K-E.
All right.
B-U-K.
You
I think
guys
it's
look it up and you
B-U-K.
tell me.
I don't think that's right.
We are.
No?
We're playing Words with Friends.
I think
right
it
now.
is B-U-K.
It's
today-
here. I got it.
Okay, this is the closer. Go ahead. Listen to this, honey.
Wait.
All right.
Scott.
No?
Our kid is going to tell us.
No, hold on.
Go ahead.
I should have got you that we spell thing.
Bukkake is a sex act in which one participant is ejaculated on by multiple participants. It is often portrayed.
That's why I don't know it. I
Exactly.
haven't had
Porn film.
You're married to Howie. You
Is
should
that
know
why your ear is plugged?
That's why you're here. That's why. That's why you can't hear.
That's why she can't hear.
That's why I don't know what it is.
Okay. All right. Well, honey,
It's always good to find out new information.
it is. Thank you.
All right.
Feel better.
Love you. Feel better. Yes.
Feel better.
Bye.
See, so it does have
Bye,
something. It might have
guy,
something
his
to do.
daughter, her
She's
mom,
right though. It
and
does
Carrot
have something
Top.
to do with the nostrils. In a sense.
Yeah, it does.
Can.
Well, that's beautiful.
It's like the old joke. Nice pearl earrings. You want a necklace to match. You know the old joke. Yes.
Did you get it? Mm-hmm. What did that mean?
I don't want to, Dad. I'm done.
You didn't know what
Okay.
that was?
She's
Pearl
done.
necklace and the pearl earrings.
She's done. It's the end.
All right.
Subscribe, comment, go to Luxor,
Right on.
see Carrot Top. Thank you, buddy.
Look up Bukkake.